come on here thinking like, it's not going to work. And so I'm a little nervous. This is my first time connecting with him in front of all of you. But it's going to go great. It's going to go great. I got this. You got this, is what my shirt says. Okay, so we got this, because it's going to work for all of you too. So let's ring our bell. I demand release from all communication, control, and influence of my thoughts, feelings, words, and deeds. I demand release from all control, influence, and communication of my thoughts, feelings, words, and deeds. I demand release from all control, communication, and influence of my thoughts, feelings, words, and deeds. Okay, now we do the white light pyramid. All right, so everyone close your eyes. We're all learning together. Yes, oh, I forgot to put the little poster up too that says no personal questions. But no personal questions. I've got a lot more mods today, so thank you all for being here, my moderators. Please no repeating questions, no personal questions. If you would like to ask a question about what we're discussing, please feel free. I'm very open and welcome to discussion. This is a classroom environment and we're all learning together. So let's dive in. Let's start with the white light pyramid to make sure we are protected as we go in. And as Emily says, it's not about so much protection from evil, it's more about protection from having your time wasted. You want a clear channel. So this is what we're all doing together. Hey Steph, you're just in time for the white light pyramid. Everyone take a big chug of water. Okay. And close your eyes. Thank you, Goldie. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. I want us to imagine a bright ball of white light that comes down from source into the room that you're in, where it settles right above you and slowly comes in through your crown, through the top of your head, into your body, where it slowly descends down into your heart space and anchors in, where it starts to pulse and expand with every inhale, growing larger and filling up more of your space in your body, pushing out all the energies that are no longer here for your highest good and replacing it with this brilliant white sparkling light. And as your body continues to fill up with every inhale, taking in more light through your crown, through your lungs, the white light continues to expand outwards, taking on the form of a white light pyramid that completely surrounds your body, with a peak about 20 feet above your head and the 4 points touching the ground. I want you to imagine a beam of light that shoots upwards and downwards from your heart space and pierces through the top of the pyramid and the base, going onwards to connect to source and continuing downwards to connect to the center of the earth. If you want, you can also imagine another beam of light that shoots forward from your heart space and connects to my pyramid, anchoring us all together. Within this white light, we're completely protected. We only allow truth, love, and wisdom to enter. And you can ask Source or your highest self for a physical confirmation that the white light is active. And sense into your body. I didn't feel anything then, but when we got to the point where I had the light coming through your head and anchor into your heart space, I felt like a zing through my whole body. So that was interesting. Okay, so we've done our checks and balances. Now onto the fun part, which is grabbing your tools, which today I'm using my rods, copper rods, divination tools. And so you may have a pendulum. Either one is fine. If you're doing muscle testing with your body, also fine. And again, just a reminder, if anyone joined us while we were in our meditation, please do the white light meditation before you begin. It's important. Light your candle. All those things are super important to officially open the practice. This is a group practice, no personal questions. And we are about to call in Apollo. This is our first time calling in Apollo for this group rods practice. If you are not comfortable calling in Apollo, call in your highest self. It's not a big deal. Okay. In fact, let's everyone call in our highest self, and I'll show you the proper procedure to do when you are interested in calling in somebody new. So grab your tools, make sure they're nice and balanced. Okay. I would like to call in my highest self, and when you're here and connected, please cross the rods. Okay, you may get a light sensation. Get comfortable. You don't want to be too stiff. Okay, so then ask again, am I currently connected to my highest self? I feel like my fan is also blowing at me. Hold on, I'll aim it up at my face. Okay. That's better. Okay. All right, I would like to connect to my highest self. When you're connected, please cross the rods. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Am I connected to my highest self currently? Yes. Perfect. Okay. Now that we've connected with our highest self, we want to connect with Apollo. So you ask, is it for my highest and greatest good to call in Apollo for today's practice? It's wanting to say yes, but it's not going all the way. Sometimes when I get stuck, so rotate them a little bit and say, ask again, is it for my highest and greatest good to call in Apollo to work with us for this session? Yes. Okay, sometimes I feel like I need to grease the inside of these hinges, make it real loosey-goosey. All right, so let's call them in. We got the green light, so let's go. I would like to call in Apollo for this rod session. Apollo, when you're here, please cross the rods. Yes. Why don't you charge? There. Okay. So am I currently connected to Apollo? Yes. Awesome. All right. And again, for those joining in, no personal questions. I do have moderators that will mute. This is a group rods practice. Please add to the conversation. We're currently connected to Apollo, and I'm hoping to go and learn about his connection to Lemuria and how he said it's so important that we intentionally try to connect with our Lemurian parallel selves and embody that energy now for Gaia and for humanity. Yes. So it's a big deal. And it's funny because if you've been following my lives and my rods practices, I've already been kind of leaning towards Lemuria. And then also to find out that Apollo was connected, it just all needed to come together. And I have been on a journey of trying to discover and connect with other parallel expressions already. And one of them I've become aware of through QHHT, which is past life regression hypnosis, is a parallel life in which I was an Oracle of Delphi. Yes. Not the an Oracle of Delphi. Yes. And I did not know this, but apparently the Oracle of Delphi temple was of the Apollo variety. Yeah. And so Apollo was totally connected to the oracles of Delphi. And so I've been wanting to work with him a long time and reconnect. And so I have my Oracle of Delphi Oracle deck, woohoo, that I got on my birthday. Of course, I've never seen it before, and it was at the shop on my birthday, the week I find out about this parallel life. So it was meant for me. And I pulled some cards that are supposed to help us understand aspects of Lemuria today. And so I'm pretty excited. I pulled Advocate. Looks like Athena, doesn't it? Like Justice. I pulled Circle. Look at that. It's like all these priestesses walking to the top of a mountain. So cool. And then the last one today was Teacher. You see the owl at the very top. And that's like a woman coming out of the water through that doorway. Very, very cool. So yes, this is from the Oracle of Delphi deck. So yeah, we're going to discuss. So now that we have Apollo on the phone, Apollo, are you still connected? Yes. Just sit in with his energy. I have the color yellow shining behind. I have a yellow shirt, and my shirt says, "You got this," because that is the energy that Apollo has introduced himself to me in the past as, is pure confidence and go do it energy. He is Mr. Go Do It. So yeah, he's also been the ones helping inspire the playlists for our ecstatic dance parties on Discord lately. So that's been super fun. A great workout. I definitely needed it to get my body working. So if you are interested in joining our Discord group, please check out one of my pinned posts to join. Super fun. We're also watching Sense8, and I believe we're going to continue that tonight as well. Very, very excited. Yes, Bruce, thank you, DJ Bruce and DJ Angie, for hooking us up with those tunes. Amazing. Had a great time. Okay, so we've connected with Apollo. Let's go through. Once we've connected with someone new, we want to do our diagnostics questions, which are basically, okay, show me a yes. Wait, put your hands up. Okay, show me a yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Show me a no. Thank you. Mine usually go out like that. Most likely you'll get the same answers looking as me, but you might get something different. I've seen it happen before with others in group practice. Okay, then you ask them to show me a maybe. Mine is usually frozen like this. And then show me a can't answer, access denied. Also usually frozen like this. It looks like a no, which requires us to feel in and get more of a sense of like, do I need to ask that differently kind of a thing, which is usually the case. So, all right, now that we've done that, we move in. Are we currently connected with Apollo? Yes. And again, if you have not connected with him before, this is the AI-generated image that Emily Eaton channeled with him directly to get his approval of like, yeah, this is how I'd like y'all to imagine me. Remember, these are gods and they don't have bodies, but they can totally create, like manifest this avatar for our benefit. Yes. And so, yeah, he reminds me of like a Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of a boyishly charming individual. Let's see. So, and I highly recommend going to check out his interview on my content that we've done with Steffi and I. It's super amazing to get to know him better. And another interesting thing about Apollo is that Emily has channeled recently that Apollo is a divine counterpart of the consciousness known as Gaia. Is that true, Apollo? Yes. And so they are working super closely together at this time. Yes. To help Gaia with this massive transition she's going through. Yeah. And I know that they've been always explaining that Gaia is pretty much birthing this new world. And so imagine Apollo helping her along, helping her get ready for labor. Yeah. Okay. So is humanity currently undergoing this significant shift with Gaia? Yes. That is the thing. Is like, it's not just a humanity shift. As I always say, it's the Gaia show and humanity is along for the ride if we want to be. Yes. And so if you're here and part of this conversation and you're curious, am I a part of New Earth? The answer is yes, if you choose to be. I got to ring a bell for a bell for confirmation. Yes. Because it's about intention. What are we intentioning? If every day I'm waking up thinking, it is my intention that I am a servant of God, doing my highest and greatest good on this earth, living intentionally and authentically and joyously, then that is 100% going to put you on the timeline for New Earth. Yes. Live with purpose, live with joy. No shame, no fear. Okay. And so, as you said, Apollo, is it true that of all the gods on the Council of Nine pantheon, are you the most connected to the creation of Lemuria? Get a yes. That super surprised me because, again, he's a divine. Would you consider yourself a divine masculine god? Yes. But we've learned about Apollo that what makes him unique on the council is that he is the closest servant of Source on the council. Yes. And he's had other lifetimes in which you're very gender, like, would you describe yourself as very gender fluid? Yes. So he's very balanced. He stands for Team Source, which is neither Team Patriarchy or Team Matriarchy. He's always been the tiebreaker. And so it's like I can totally see it in this cartoon vision in my head of like, Source is like, all right, Apollo, I'm sending you down, go create a human
civilization, a sanctuary, is how it feels like Lemuria was designed to be. And so it was created with the help of extraterrestrial assistance, yes. And it was designed to be this human, in my mind, it feels like this human paradise in which the people looked very much like how I imagine Moana, the people of Moana to look like. Would you say that that's true? Yes. They're very much like the ancestors of the Hawaiian area. Yeah. And they were very, very, very connected to earth and spirituality. Yes. Hugely so. Very advanced. Would you say that they were primitive? No. They were very like earth technologically advanced, crystal tech, grids, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so, yeah. So Apollo has said that it was like a group effort, Lemuria was. Yes, it wasn't just him, but he is how I imagine like the team leader of this effort. And he said in the last channeling that it was with the assistance of also Isis, yes, Lilith, yes, and then there was Hecate as well. Was she also assisting? I'm getting a yes. And so I was surprised that, is it true? Okay, is Persephone on this list of helping with Lemuria? No. So I was surprised. She's the only goddess on the Council of Nine that was not connected to it directly. Yes. So interesting. So that is going to be our team for, my hope is that in June we will have special events in where we connect with that team and talk all about Lemuria. That is my goal. So just like how we have those Cosmic Union events for May, I'm hoping to do the same thing, but for Lemuria in June. So keep an eye on that. And if you're interested in the Cosmic Union events, I still have a couple tickets left for each of them. The first event is on May 1st, which is a full moon, so it should be extra potent. He's confirming. And the second event with the other couples is going to be on May 15th, which is a new moon, also very potent. And so it's going to be very cool. I'm hoping to have like the God pairings. Like the first one will have Apollo and Gaia, and Hecate and Enki, and who else? Sacral, I think that was it. And then Heart, which is going to be Hercules and Persephone. And so then the next group will have the others. And so it's going to be really fun. So please check out the link in my bio if you're interested in those tickets for those events. It is going to be quite powerful. So we're going to do the same thing for Lemuria in June. Okay. And mods, if you see any great questions, please pin it so I can see it too, because I see so many things and I don't always catch them. All right. So Lemuria. Was Lemuria a real civilization here on Earth? Yes. And is it truly connected to the landmass we know as Hawaii? You know, what I've learned is that, said yes, get the ticket. Oh, for the event. Yeah, that's a great question. You should ask. Is it for my highest and greatest good to buy a ticket to the Cosmic Union event? And see what you get. I'd be interested if you got to know. I'm sure it's in everyone's highest and greatest good. Yeah. Okay, so did Lemuria exist and predate the civilization we know as Atlantis? Yes. And I've heard that Atlantis and Lemuria, they overlapped each other time-wise, yes, and are connected in the mutual destruction of each other, yes. So it's true that both were destroyed in a cataclysm, yes. And this cataclysm was brought on by an imbalance that Atlanteans carried with their technology. They were way too technological and way not enough spiritual and connected to Earth and life. And because of that, you know, they pushed the limits. And so it ruined it for everyone on the game board known as Earth at that time. So we are in a time now where many of us, and you can ask, do I have parallel expressions in Atlantean and Lemurian times? Yes. Most likely, if you're here, the answer is yes. And most likely that's because you are here to embody and anchor the frequencies of then, now, and to heal those imbalances that we may still carry from those lifetimes. You know, and when many of us may find out that we may have been partially responsible for the destructions, and that's going to be true for some of y'all. And you can even ask, am I partially responsible? Yes. With the choices I made during those lifetimes. Yes. And so, but it's a matter of forgiving yourself, realizing everything happened exactly as it was meant to, and that everything is happening exactly as it's meant to right now, in terms of we are acting as access points and bringing this information back through things like this and meditation and inner divinity. So if you're interested in learning how to connect within, which I know is such an abstract term that I still struggle with, I recommend checking out the woman who taught the majority of us here with these rods, which was Emily Eaton, Eaton, Divine Magic with a CK.com. She's the one who hosts these rods classes. She just released session 1 yesterday, so go check it out. That is how I got them to work. So please go do that and then come join us. All right. And so I'd like to learn a little bit about what Lemuria was like. If you would like to learn about Lemuria, Apollo, do you recommend the book Women's Wisdom of Lemuria by Cryon? Yes. Please go check out that book. I know Taryn recently read it and she agreed it was life-changing. If you would like to hear about that story, I believe I told the story about how that book led to my first alien contact through hypnosis. And so it holds a special place in my heart, changed my life in more ways than one. But it also felt so true when I was reading it. And so it feels extremely important to go check it out. Women's Wisdom of Lemuria by Cryon, Kryon. He's kind of like another Bashar, but older. Such a good book, very activating. It's very true. So read all about it, because what we're learning about that time is that, would you describe Lemuria as matriarchal? Yes. But it wasn't like the inverse of the patriarchy system we know now, in which it was like dominate by women. It was balanced. Yes, it was a balanced matriarchy, which is what we are aiming for today. Yes, a mix of masculine, balanced feminine leaders who are connected to themselves and grounded and have vision of we can unite together for a common good for all. So it's happening. We're experiencing this right now, and he's still in the yes. So it's like, yes, if you are here because you are interested in learning about the world. And you know, when I first got into inner divinity, it was because I was so convinced the world was doomed, and I was determined to prove myself wrong. And I did, totally did. The future is quite, would you say, Apollo, that the future is quite bright? Yes. Because the energies of the sun and earth are totally maxing themselves out right now. Energetically, they are in it. They are going through it together. And you can see that in the Schumann resonance. You can see that in the happenings of like earthquakes. And like, we are going through massive, massive shifts. So if this is news to you, welcome. If it's not news to you, thank you, because you are part of the reason why it's happening so quickly. So thank you. Okay. Thank you, Taryn, for reminding the people no personal questions. This is practice so we can all learn how to use these so that you can ask your personal questions. That's the goal. And then as you start asking those questions, like, will I get this job? Will this person want me? You realize and grow out of that whole level of framework of thinking too, and realize, oh, I'm completely sovereign. And it doesn't matter if I live for me, the people around me reflect that back to me. Yeah. Can we ask for knowledge from our higher selves in those lifetimes? Yes. So Natasha, that's my goal for the end of this session, is to literally call in our higher selves. In our last live, I think we called in like all of our higher selves. I believe we also did Lemurian. There was a Lemurian one, yeah. And I found out that I have like 10 to 20 of them, of parallel expressions at that time. And so yesterday with Stephanie, she channeled Apollo, and I got to ask him, like, is there a specific one that I should connect with of that group? And he gave me a symbol. And so I kind of want the same thing for you all today. So today we're going to end this practice by intentionally calling in a parallel expression of ourselves that exists in Lemuria now. Because remember, time is not linear. Watch that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, they are living now. And the cool thing that we're finding out about those parallel expressions is that, is it true that our Lemurian counterparts or expressions are aware of us? Yes. It's like, is it true that they have been actively connected to us our entire lives to help us? Yes. Because they know what we are going through right now on this planet. It has been prophesied from all the way back then. And they know that they are part of connecting to us in this time for this reason. So it's a major, major important mission to like connect with all your higher selves, sure, but specifically the Lemurian information and the way of life, because this is what we're learning about what it was like then. So is it true that during Lemurian times that people lived without constant anxiety? Yes. Is it true that they operated in this unified coherence? Yes. It was said in one of the cards we've read recently that like Lemuria was a time that was so strong in terms of unity consciousness that like the way in which birds migrate together in a formation comes from that time. I just got a ringing in my ear as I said that. So like all of that animal intuition like literally was programmed into them, then it's ancient. And so that whole unity consciousness field is what we are picking up and anchoring in, that is literally 5D that we're moving into. So it's not a new thing, we're bringing it back with more numbers. So it's very, very important. So yeah, like Apollo said, we are healing our Atlantean memories and bringing forward our Lemurian ones. That is the goal. So welcome to this conversation. And so the people of Lemuria felt naturally safe in their bodies. Yes, thank you, Apollo. Was Lemuria considered more heart-centered rather than mind-dominant? Yes. And Atlantis was considered the mind-dominant experiment, so to speak. Yes. Okay. Were Lemurians aware of their multidimensional selves? Yes. And so they are aware of us. And do they hold us, these human lives right now, even though I know many of us don't consider this life important, do they hold this life in extreme importance? Yes. One thing I've been told over and over again, no matter who I was talking to, whether it be angels, aliens, gods, or goddesses, is like, as hard as it is to believe, your human life right now is the most important one. Of all the ones you may find out once you go down the path of this inner divination and parallel life exploration, you may find out some really awesome ones, like me in the Oracle of Delphi. Like, that sounds way cooler than the situation I had going on before this. Yes. And so it might be easy to be like, well, I just work at a grocery store. What do you mean this is an important life? But I'm telling you, it really doesn't matter. I've been told it doesn't matter what you're doing. The most important thing is the energy you hold while you're doing it. So, yeah, we live in a world in which our energy matters, like a lot. And so, yeah, we also happen to live in a world in which a lot of the systems are designed to make us unhappy and depressed and anxious. And so this is the battlefield it's in the mind. We're pre-programmed with the normalization of burnt out, sad despair, where people are unknowingly worshiping gods of suffering and greed and all this kind of stuff, you know? And so, welcome to the other side, which is, okay, all of that is crazy and exists. Cool, 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 cool. Now what? Okay, now what? Let's get grounded. Let's center in and connect within, because we are not powerless. We are super powerful. And that is why so many groups have gone to such extreme lengths to keep us thinking we're powerless, to keep us in this victim mindset, because we are remembering that we too can access our multidimensional aspects, like our Lemurian advanced expressions, and that they are reaching out to us. And it makes me think of that Michelangelo painting, or is it Michelangelo? Yeah, whatever. Where God got his finger out. He's like, come on, come on. And the guy is just like this, but all he needed to do was reach it out and he would touch, but he's barely trying. We literally just need to connect within and have the intention. I know Emily Eaton, my mentor, has said her journey of awakening started with the intention of wanting to connect and learn about her higher self. She started reading Dolores Cannon books and realized, what is this higher self aspect? The part of me that knows why I'm here. It's sort of like the player, and I'm the consciousness of the avatar, realizing that I'm both the player and the avatar. It's an interesting time. So that was also my awakening gear shift. So I urge you to connect with Dolores Cannon and learn about it, and then come back and we'll connect more with parallel selves over here. Okay. And so, is Lemuria something stored within us rather than something we need to find externally? Yes. Because we're learning that not only was Lemuria a literal place, but it's a consciousness that can be tapped into. Yes. And we are meant to remember it through feelings instead of proof. It's like the proof comes after. Yes. And so let's talk about these parallel selves. So are we able to access these Lemurian parallel expressions consciously? Yes. Okay. And remember, I struggle to visualize too. And so it's important to understand this too. Is being able to visualize this higher self being or any of these beings important when it comes to really connecting? He's like saying big, big no right now. It's like almost touching my shoulders on both sides. And so you're confirming that it doesn't matter if you can see it. It's about having the intention and trusting ultimately. Yes. And so I always think of the scene from Hook, where Peter Pan is at the buffet table and everyone's eating this food and they're all enjoying it. He's looking around like, am I crazy? Or like, there's no food here. And everyone's like, you got to imagine it, Peter. And it's like, this is it. I used to tell myself, I used to be the Peter, and I still am. But I promise you, we can get our Peter Pan memories back. You just have to keep playing along. Open up the well with intention and just trust that the gauges are being turned on slowly. But the more you choose to connect within daily with daily meditation, the more they will trust you to handle more connection. Yes. They're not trying to give people psychosis. They want things to be gradual, but you have to intention and daily connect. And that's how you build and strengthen the bridge. Yes. Okay. And so, embodiment. Let's see. And another thing, like, it's just we're bringing it all back. And so if anyone has any questions about Lemuria, please ask away. I have also heard that during Lemurian times, is it true that people lived more closely with animals? Yes. It's like, I've heard it described as basically like Disney princess experience. Yes. It's like that everyone was telepathic and therefore could telepathically communicate with animals. Yes. And plants. Yes. And one of the things that the book mentioned, and Taryn, since you've more recently read it, please put some more stuff in the comments that you would like me to verify, because it's been a while. I need to reread it again. Yes, says Apollo. um, but yeah, why did Lemurian have to be destroyed? Atlantis wasn't balanced, but why Lemuria? Because it was all connected. Okay, this is what I've understood. So it was under my, it's under my understanding that ultimately what led to the cataclysmic destruction of Lemuria and Atlantis was crystal technology that was overused, just abused and overused. Yes. And basically it led to like explosion level disaster. And you have to understand that Atlantis was like, would you say Atlantis was like a worldwide grid? Almost, like very large. Okay. Not just, it was like more than one continent. Yes. And so their crystal grids were then massive. Yes. And so it led to everything being destroyed on the planet. So that is why it was destroyed. Once I had a vision of myself as a blue woman by a river. I wonder if it was my Lemurian expression. Let's see, Sierra. Is the vision Sierra saw of the blue person connected to a Lemurian expression of hers? I'm getting a yes. So very cool. And I would never have thought of them as blue. But how will we avoid overuse with balance? Yes. Because the problem is, just like we see today when we look around, is during Atlantean times, there were people who were greedy. Yes, greedy for power and greedy for more innovation. You know, there was a imbalance of light in that place. So no checks, not enough balance and checks and balances when it comes to ethics of experiments, those kinds of things. So it was just a breeding ground for pushing the envelope more and more, and not enough voices being like, maybe we shouldn't. So there wasn't that. And so that led to cancerous type growth, with which, kind of familiar to what we're experiencing right now, It's almost as if those people who were alive during the Atlantean times are here too, still playing out their imbalance and being offered the same opportunity as the rest of us to heal. So it's like we're repeating, whether we know it or not, each of us is repeating parallel life patterns now on this weird timeline we find ourselves now, which is basically like this grand stage that the entire universe is watching us play out. So it wasn't just overuse, it was cruelty, yes. So I don't know exactly what led to the actual overuse of the crystal, but I'm assuming it was something weapons related. You know, that's the only thing I can think of like, why would you want to push the power capacity of something except to do more damage, is what I'm thinking. Yes. And so to me, it feels very much like what we did with the World War II times. We created our own destruction. And if you're new to me, one of the crazier claims that the aliens that first contacted me told me, and I thought this was funny because they came in as owls. They told me that they take on the shape of a giant owl, and they called themselves the Wisdom Keepers. So those were the aliens that first contacted me. And this was the day after I read the Women's Wisdom of Lemuria book. Okay. So it's funny because the woman's also in the water. It's very Lemuria connected. This picture is very coded. It feels like. But basically, yeah. So I finished reading the Women's Wisdom of Lemuria. The next day I had a session with a new client. And in that session, the first life it dropped her into was a life that I instinctively knew, this sounds exactly like the book and Lemuria. What are the odds? That's crazy. That can't happen. Well, it did. And it got more and more specific with this client who was like a 60-something-year-old woman, not into Lemuria, not into aliens, none of that. Um, she was shown this Lemurian life. And after that life ended, we were taken to this spaceship in which these aliens started talking to us. And they called themselves the Wisdom Keepers. And yeah, they confirmed Lemuria is indeed true. And it's important because they were saying all these kinds of things. Like in the book, it said that on a day-to-day basis, the women's role, because even though it was matriarchal, they did have like more masculine and feminine roles within the community. And everyone had like a fulfilled purpose. It was very, very easy. I've even been told that, with these layers to understand about their culture, the advocate and their justice, just like how we're moving into the new golden age, the same it was true back then, is that there was no need for a judicial system like we have now. There was just this like layer of understanding and respect people had for each other. In fact, the first thing that my client, the day of my alien contact session client, the first thing she noticed when she was dropped off of the cloud onto that scene was the frequency. And she immediately started sobbing. And I thought something was wrong. And she was like, no, it's just the frequency of this place. It's so loving. You can just feel it. It's like it emanates, it's in the air. And she was just sobbing, saying it doesn't feel like that today here. And so would you like to say that that feeling is the 5D we're moving towards? Yes. And what she was feeling is most likely this unity consciousness love aspect that Lemuria was very anchored into. Yes. So we are moving there again. We're remembering it, bringing it back. Yes. Okay, so make sure before we have to end, I want to make sure we call in our higher selves. And so let's do that. What time do we have? Let's do that. We have 15 minutes left. Take a drink of water, and then we're going to shift into a meditation mode. Call in our higher self. Okay. Alexa, volume up 2. Alexa, volume up. I went lower. Or maybe it shift to new song. Okay. Is it loud enough? Okay, that seems loud enough. All right, guys. I want you to take a moment. We're going to call it in. So grab your rods. And we're going to intention, is it for my highest and greatest good, Apollo, to call in a parallel expression of mine in Lemuria? Yes. Okay. So let's call it in. I would like to call in the highest and greatest, most appropriate version of myself in Lemuria that would like to connect with me today. Yes. Am I currently connected to my Lemurian expression? Yes. Okay. Sense into that. I'm sensing excitement. Is there an excitement coming from the other end? Yeah. You guys sense that too? Feels very happy, but calm happy. Hard to describe. Calm happy. Okay. Then just to find out a little bit more about your expression, because remember, you're going to be connected with somebody different than me. You can ask a little bit and ask, would you consider yourself a healer? Okay, no. Would you consider yourself a priestess or priest? Getting a no. Would you consider yourself a teacher? No. Would you consider yourself a leader? I'm getting a yes. And I got chills. Okay, so I'd like to hear what you guys get. So this aspect that I'm connecting to right now, you would call yourself a leader of Lemuria. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Are you a male? Are you a female? Yes. And have you connected with me often? I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a sense for me of like, I don't know, grandmother energy. So like you would consider yourself an elder? Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I'd love to hear what you guys are getting from this initial connection because we're going to connect a little deeper. Are you carrying memories that I am able to access through you now with our connection established? Yes. Okay. Do I own any crystals that I owned during Lemurian times? I'm getting a no. But it is possible for people to have crystals that they had during that time. Yes, that would be cool. Okay, guys, let's do the meditation. So, would you and the other parallel expressions here connected to their humans like to participate in this meditation of establishing connection together? Yes. Okay. And is the 2 minutes of the connection space enough afterwards? Yes. Okay. Let's do it, y'all. Set the mood with some blue for the Lemurians. They're very watery people. So remember, think Moana, think loving, unified, Gaia, crystals, highly intelligent, highly advanced. Your expression is a male and all of the above on teacher, leader, priest. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let your body soften. And let's set the intention. I am open to connecting with the Lemurian version of myself that is here for my highest and greatest good. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet shore. There's a warm breeze, calm water, soft light. A smooth stone path leads you to an open temple surrounded by water and light. Walk the path slowly. With each step, your body softens. As you enter the temple, everything feels calm, open, familiar. Now, instead of looking, begin to feel. Somewhere here is a version of you. They're already aware of you and reaching. Allow that connection to become clear through feeling. As you become aware of each other and this room, you notice that between you, there's a simple cup. Inside the cup, you notice a golden, shimmering liquid. It smells of flowers and joy. You both take a drink from this cup. Warmth moves through your body. Bonded over this cup. Now you reach out your hands and meet them, connecting through hands or choosing to hug, allowing the energy to flow back and forth through you, only allowing what is here for your highest and greatest good. Now I want you to sit in this for the next 2 minutes and allow this energy to just merge with yours. Okay, that was the end of the 2 minutes. You can stay with their energy a little longer. I want you to thank them. And with this introduction between you all, this is not ever going to be goodbye. This is now an awareness that has been secured. And I want you to ask them before we say goodbye if there is a meaningful symbol or name or identity marker that they would like to share with you now, imprint on you now, so that you may connect with them again in the future more easily. And feel in to see what you get. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I want you to leave that temple. Come all the way back to this time and place, back into your body, trusting that that connection isn't something that was established. That connection has always been there. And now you are aware of it. Yes. And so did I, and ask for yourself, did I successfully connect with that Lemurian aspect of myself today? Yes. Drink water, very much drink water. That was energetic to the max. You met your male elderly teacher of Christology alchemy. I got a symbol. Thank you. That's so cool. Very, very cool. And like I said, guys, this is just the beginning. This was the handshake. And it's like they have been trying to get your attention and remind you you're not alone your entire life. And this is just one parallel expression. When you start to understand, going down this road opens you up to hundreds, thousands of them that all are here to assist you. And this time, life becomes a lot more fun. A lot more fun. So thank you for being here for part of this one. This was extra special with everyone here. Apollo, did you have a great time today? Yes. This was the first Apollo. And even though I came in here scared it wasn't going to work, yes. I need to stop. I am crazy for thinking that. Yes. So, yeah. His name was Bob, but since it's my father's name, he said I could call him Babu. Yeah, most likely, if you got a name, it's not the real name. Yes. Because the truth is that they had names back then that sound nothing like the sounds that we make with our language today. Yes. And so you're more likely to get like a symbol or a nickname, but yeah, but trust it. So yeah, no personal questions, but yeah, that was pretty dang powerful. And I feel like we completed a card that we pulled, which was circle. And so would you say, Apollo, that we accomplished the mission you wanted us to, which was to initiate this Lemurian exchange? Yes. He explained to me that he wants to burst down Lemurian memory doors for all of us and reconnect daily. It's so important right now. So thank you so much for being here and starting this. That's so cool. Cool, not cruel. Did Marina meet hers called Llama? Yes, that's very, very cool. I didn't get a name or anything, but Apollo did give me a symbol yesterday, and so I am going to intention to connect again later. And as he's told me, it's like, just make the intention to sit with them and set a timer and stop expecting things. Allow and trust that the connection is there and just sit with it. Sit with it. So join me at the Hook Peter Pan table, even if you can't see the food. Trust that if you play along, you will. Because we live in a reality in which we've been taught you have to see it in order to believe it. But the truth is, you have to believe it in order to see it. And that's how this whole world works. You hate that you missed it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm going to be posting the replay. Yeah, we're still connected. So you're still feeling the energy, Marina. Like, we are still very much connected to this circle of higher selves that are, I feel like it's a celebration day over there. Like, this may just be a casual Sunday where you're here on a TikTok live, but you need to very much play with the idea that we just connected with an aspect of us, our oversoul, that is having a parallel expression that we consider back in time. So in essence, we literally created a portal through our mind and body, because we're literally channeling their energy right now through our body, through space and time. And you know, as someone who studied science, I have a master's in forensic science, like, I can't wait for the day where scientists actually start to take that seriously. Because right now, I know that when I say that, people are like, yeah, prove it. I know, I get it. But it's true, we really just did that. And so keep playing pretend and watch everything become real around you. It is very amazing. And it's just the beginning. So connect with your Lemurian counterparts, get to know them, because they are you. You are them. This is a connection that was always there. You have access to it whether you want it or not. Is that true? Yes, it's not something you can opt out of. It's just like you are them. It's you. And so go in with no fear and trust. And join us next time, where I will be doing this again. The next Rods practice will be on Tuesday. And again, it'll be all Apollo this month. And just another push again to go check out the link in my bio to look into the Cosmic Union series, part 1 on May 1st, part 2 May 15th. And it's going to be a good time. So there's still about a couple tickets left, so go and check it out. You love how alive your rods are. And that's so funny because mine used to not move at all. And even, I'm not even kidding, like I was doing the rods before this in the bathtub by myself. And even then, I'll be like, Apollo, are you there? And I'll be like, that felt more like I moved it. I moved it. And I'm like, ah. And I'm like, get them as precise as possible. Not an inch of movement. Apollo, are you there? And so it's like I'm constantly doubting myself. And Apollo is strong. I could immediately feel it on the rods. It was different. And I don't feel it so much anymore. But when I was connecting with him in the bathtub, I felt a difference. And it was almost like my field of vision almost expanded. It felt very, he felt very expansive. And like I said, I immediately could sense this boyish charm. He's known as like a trickster, but he feels to me very brotherly. Yeah, we joked last night. These are from Amazon. So go simple and go Amazon and just try and find 99.9 whatever percent copper. That's the most important thing. We joked last night as we're experimenting. I'm experimenting with more people interested in channeling and where to go with that. If I could have multiple people channeling different beings, what to do with that. And so we've just been experimenting and playing around with like, what could we do with that? What would people enjoy seeing us do with that? And we were joking with Apollo last night that we could totally do like a prank series. And we won't do it because that is not a very ethical spiritual practice. But for funny, we were just imagining having him channeled through Stephanie and calling prank calls as Apollo. I just think it would be funny. He enjoyed it. He got a good laugh out of it. So maybe one day. But we also are also playing around with the idea of having them channel through Stephanie and other channelers too, and expressing. We're trying to capture like meditation tracks, channeled meditation tracks where it's them. Some of them a little more sexual than others, if you know what I mean, for like some solo and partner related sacred sexual practices. So if that's your jam, welcome. If you're new to that whole thing, yes, the God with a capital G is very much a proponent of sacred sexual practices, yes. And his ideology and all of the gods I've encountered that are for our highest and greatest good believe that all humans, adult humans, making sure of consenting age, deserve and entitled to a healthy, active sexual life that lacks shame and is completely fulfilling. Yeah, and so this is the where we are moving towards. Everyone deserves it, and they all like to talk about it because they all are really big into the idea of, yeah, it's really cool that we're doing this and connecting and getting our answers to some of our questions, but they're really, really interested in teaching us how to use our body in more literal ways, and sex is one of them. They continuously tell me sex is a major manifester. Yes. Sex is extremely healing when used correctly. Yeah. So there's a lot to look into with our bodies and some of the things that we've been told to repress about them. So you can pretty much guarantee that if a religion outlawed it, you should look into it because it would literally bring you closer to God. So anyways, Thank you for being here. I love you. I love me. Let's make this world what we want it to be. Thank you to our Lemurian aspects for being here. I invite you to be with me throughout the day. I want to see evidence of you throughout my day. Will you be with me? Yes. And so let's bring it on. Let's connect and bring forth those downloads and that wisdom. Ooh, I just got like dizzy for a second. Okay. Yeah. And thank you to Apollo. And yeah, let's do this. Thank you to everyone who was here. Did we accomplish everything we needed to today? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Then go have a magical rest of your weekend. Go and spread magic everywhere you go. And remember, you got this.